close to Saturday. I don't know. We'll see. So it could be the last live stream until the chatathon, which is on Saturday at the butt crack of dawn. I'll let y'all know exactly what time as we get closer. Glorfindel said he'd be there early. I think a couple other people did too. I think Mike D maybe. But yeah, let's go. Let me get this on subscriber only. Let me get started on like the adventure board or something. Switched back to Sunday. I don't know, man. Like, what do you... I'm gonna have to like decide if I want to keep going on Saturday or Sunday. Like, I was trying this Saturday thing, and I kind of like it, but then it's like the spoiler video. That's the only problem. I think Saturday live streams in the morning are slightly better for like the live stream, but it's slightly worse for the spoilers. So it almost depends what happens like during the live stream on whether it's better or not. Spoilers will get like a couple hundred less views if I put it out on Sunday, because we got more competition now and everything. So I don't know. Still trying to decide if I'm going to keep going with the Saturday live streams or switch it back to Sunday. Then on Sunday you got people that go to church and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep trying both days back and forth and see which one wins. What up, Pocket Trash, Will Dobson, Trey Bobuff? Can y'all hear me? Always confirm, please. I don't want to be talking for 10 minutes to myself. Let's see. Customization. Subscriber only. Remember to subscribe if you want to chat. It's just a 1-minute thing you have to wait for. The only reason we do that is because if we don't, then we get all these crazy bots in here posting weird stuff. So it's not like I'm trying to get people to subscribe, and that's some strategy of mine. It's like a necessity nowadays. If you live stream, you almost have to put it in subscriber-only mode so they don't come in here spamming your channel with all the weird stuff, all the bots. So not just some weird strategy to get you to subscribe. It's something, just a necessity, so... Alright, doing adventure board, gold farming team, just because I already have every Phoenicia class to 100, or else I'd be doing Phoenicia. Doing sorcerer because I'm leveling it up for a kingdom power. Not something I recommend until it's a must, but it's a must for me right now. Makes you go all the way to like 100, I hate that. I thought like, oh, I'll go to 60, I'll go to 70, like, then I could switch to a different one, but no, it makes you go to like a freaking 100. It's annoying. Luckily, it's like later on, after soft caps. Okay, Mary can hear me. Cool. Ghost Rebel, Pocket Trash, thank you. What up? Let me catch up in the chat here. Alright, got that. Let's go to live. I feel like I'm sitting right on a heater vent. Like freaking hot. I think I am. Remember to hit like, it'll get it out to more people. We can get more people here. We can have more fun. Let's go. Alright, so we got, let's hit this. Who do we got here today? Got Pocket Trash, Will Dobson, Trey Bobuff, Ghost Rebel, Mary Musgrove. Mary says, hey, Cinny, where can I farm versus? Versus, mostly you're going to get during the Vault event by doing Difficulty 1 Explore over and over with Rowan or Ironhawk or Moon Mage or whatever you got. But outside of like a Vault event, you would just do the same thing. It's just way harder. So you can't really expect any verses. It's just like a happy thing that you get alongside of doing something else. Like, you could never really just go farm for verses, except for during a Vault event, because gnomes appear more often during a Vault event. So you almost have to, like, roll them over. You can't use them all during, because you're going to get most of your verses are going to come from Vault events. But then you're going to use most of your verses during Vault events, but you want to save, like, 2, 3, 4 of them for the next Vault event. So you don't want to, like, you want to roll them over. You don't want to, like, use every single one of them. Unless you're only getting like 3, 4, 5, then you just go ahead and use them all. But if you're getting like more than 10, you should like roll them over to the next Vault event. That way you don't have to worry in between like, oh, how am I going to get verses? Because it's way harder to get verses when it's not a Vault event which is kind of weird. Like, I don't know why they do that. Like, they should let you get more verse gnomes in between vault events so you can use them during vault events, and maybe like reduce the chance that the gnome drops a vault key or something. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I think you should have a better chance at getting verses between vaults is what I'm saying. But it's not the case. It's still really hard. And the best time is during a vault, when you're supposed to be using them. It's like the opposite of vault keys. Verses are like the opposite of vault keys. Vault keys you want to use outside of a vault event and never during a vault event. Verses you want to use always in a vault event and never outside of a vault event. But they're both best gotten during a vault event, which is weird. You think one or the other wouldn't be. But I hope I answered your question. What up, Elgin's Toy? Ebony Brown. Good morning. Hola. Sir Michael. Markio's here. We've seen Markio a few times lately. Good to see you. Got the red. Let's get this egg thief. I'm trying to get this done quickly, but it's also like we're easing into the live stream, letting people know we're live and stuff. So let's do the adventure board, something everybody does every day that they don't need help with, really. Probably do the raids. Might talk about spoilers a little bit. Got to do our Lunar Revel in our dungeon. Crowns. Stuff like that. Nothing like super exciting. I was making my title today. I'm like, what's the most exciting thing going on right now? And I couldn't really think of anything. Like spoilers, I guess, for next week. Would be like the most exciting thing happening like right now. Spoilers for next week. That's another problem with Sundays. Like, the most exciting thing about a Sunday is like the week that's coming up, not what we're doing right now. I guess raids would be the thing. Raids. Spoilers followed by raids if you're still working on those. But with raids, you can get them done like on Friday. Invasion's even faster. Like, raids is probably the second fastest event. Invasion's like even faster, and we got that next week. And I'm doing the chatathon during an invasion. So what are we going to do? I guess we're going to do like, let you guys pick arena teams and stuff like that, but we'll do a bunch of different stuff. I'll probably touch on everything in the entire game. If we go, you know, we usually go like 6-7 hours with the chatathon, but I can't like guarantee it, so who knows what we're going to do really. I mean, you would think based on history, I could guarantee it, but every time going into a chatathon, I always feel like, I don't know, this could go like 1 hour, or this could go like 7 or 8 hours. I never know. So I can't even tell you what we're going to do. At some point, if it goes long enough, I'll let y'all pick arena teams, most likely. That's probably the funnest thing that we do that no one else does. Alright, let's do this. Alright. Got some gems on the adventure board, always notable. Make sure you grab those, it takes like 2 seconds. Even faster than doing the class event for gems. Bang, bang, green. Let's get the purple plus the brown. Let's go ahead and just shoot the egg. Get the double kill here, come on, baby. Bang, bang. Alright. Got that, got that. Let's go. Alright, what are y'all saying? Sir Michael, Markio, Maka Felix is here. Glorfindel says, hi, everyone. Am going to have to lurk away until my guests bugger off and leave me alone. Dude, we should think of more things like make people go out of your house. Remember that? Whenever I have maintenance coming over and we're trying to think of ways to like annoy people to go away. We got to give Glorfindel some tips. How to get people out of your house. They're probably listening right now. Sorry. Shh. Don't tell them. We're not talking about you. We want you there. We're happy that you're here. He told us that he's got company that he loves and adores, and he can't watch right now because you guys are just so awesome, you know? We weren't saying that we were trying to like get you to go away, or you know, we weren't doing that. Shh. They're listening. Shh. Quit talking about it. They're listening, guys. Mary says, got yas. Okay, cool. Marcus says they are so tight with the verses. Yep. It's not something you can really, like, go after too hard. If you want to be super extra, it is a good thing. Like, it's something to definitely chase after, but it's like a dog chasing a car. It's like a slow dog chasing a convertible, like a Corvette, a Hellcat. You're never going to get it. And if you do, you're only going to get one. Then you can't even make a Nomapalooza. It's just something you just happen to get while you're doing other things. You can't really specifically farm versus. You can like check the offers and stuff. Oops. Like sometimes they'll pop up in offers. Make sure you're always checking your offer button on the right-hand side. If you want to, you could do 3 arenas a day, get 3 extra offers, and maybe that would be a verse. But nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to do that. I don't even do that, so almost useless words there. Because I don't think anybody does their 3 arenas a day to get their extra 3 offers and try to get verses and stuff. Arena is good for stuff that's really hard to get, but it's also really annoying and nobody wants to do it. But then you got people asking how to get verses, how to get stuff that Arena does give you, like writs and deeds and books and verses and... Like, how do you get those things, Arena? They're like, oh, never mind. Never mind. Arena, never mind. See ya. Oh, how do you get books? How do you get deeds? How do you get writs, my guy? You gotta play Arena 3 times a day, and when it comes through, like, the event, like, you can get writs, and, like, you can get different offers, like, 3 a day. So 21 different offers a week, where you might be able to get writs or books or deeds or verses. Oh, never mind, never mind, never mind. You said Arena? Nope. See ya. Not doing that. That's how it is. Oh, the answer is Arena. Just forget I asked. Never mind. And it's, like, really hard, too, so... 3 arenas a day. But it's not super hard. Like, I make Arena look harder than it is. Because I never repick. I let people pick bad troops for me on purpose. Like, I just like the challenge of it. You could sit there and repick and repick and repick until you get an OP Arena troop. If you start to learn, like, all the OP Arena troops, you could, like, repick and re-roll and repick and re-roll until you get the really awesome troops. And you could, like, destroy Arena so easy. That's what other people do. They're not sitting there, like, using crappy troops and making it harder. No one does that. Like, they'll repick and re-roll, and especially if they're not on Livestream, I bet they freaking re-roll until they get, like, a specific troop that they know is, like, super OP. Like, they're not going to sit there and use crappy troops. You shouldn't either. That's just a me thing. That's not advice. That's just a me making the game harder thing. So, Arena's not as hard as I make it look. It's not as hard as you have experienced either. If you repick and repick and repick, you could get an OP troop that can clear everything in one shot with a boost ratio. And it's way faster and way easier than it's ever been if you get the right troop. And it lets you repick. All it costs is like a very small amount of something. I don't know because I never do it. But, it's easier than you think. Alright, let's do this dungeon. Let me catch up in the chat first. Yeah, they're tight with the verses, that's for sure. Pocket Trash says, we should have plenty of time to get random verses since they skipped a vault event. Yep. No, they didn't, remember? That was never planned. There was never a schedule. What do you mean? We aren't supposed to have a certain events on a rotation at all. It hasn't been like that for 8 years or anything, no. We're not supposed to, like, have... You know how in the Soul Forge there's, like, a mythic cycle with a rotation and everything? You know that example? You know how there's, like, a kingdom rotation every week? You know that example where they do that, too? Like the Soul Forge, the kingdoms, the events. Nah, but Vault, that's a whole different story now. We do it in the Soul Forge, and we do it with the kingdoms, and yeah, we do it with the events, like all the other events. But you know, Vault, that's a different story. You know, never was scheduled. It doesn't exist until we say it does. They're ridiculous, dude. Full of shit. All right, let's go see what this dungeon tool says to do. We are on Sunday, so I gotta click Sunday. Last time we did the dungeon tool on Livestream, it completely didn't work. But I want to try it again. Anyway, Let's see here. Devs get me so mad that I will curse. And I'm pretty good at keeping that kind of stuff in. You get used to it having a YouTube channel. You gotta, like, not say bad words. Alright, let's go. Spoilers, yeah. Spoilers. Next week we have, Invasion. We have Tower of Doom, Brown Tower of Doom. We have Nexus again. That's so annoying. That's one thing. They're supposed to do, okay, you know, go run through every kingdom and then repeat them like they do with the Mythics and the Soulforge. But it feels like we've had Nexus, like, 5 times in the last 6 months. Doesn't it? I feel like we have. Glorf says any verses you get outside of a Vault event are a bonus. That's pretty much true. Yeah, for sure, Markio. Yeah, they lied to us. Mary says that, yeah, no problem, Mary. Pocket Trash says, just start vacuuming. Dude, that's a good one. I'm gonna start vacuuming I'm gonna play, like, loud, weird music while I vacuum. Next time somebody comes over that I don't like. You gotta play, like, really loud, weird music and vacuum. Glorfindel says, yeah, holding my farts in is the hardest part. Maka, you just gotta step outside real quick. You gotta do that weird... You know how you get the wedgie out without actually pulling it out? You gotta do one of those, like, extra steps. Maka says, any tips would be great. I like company, but for an hour or two, not many hours. And the same when I'm visiting with someone, I prefer less hours. Same here. Like I say, I have a social gas tank. It goes to empty within, like, an hour. Your short one for a gnome? Oh, man. What up, Sebastian? Maka says, sometimes I start to clean up. That's a good tip. Like, get all flustered and start cleaning and cooking and stuff. But vacuuming's perfect because it's really loud. Elle says, I've never found Arena super hard, to be honest, even with troops that aren't top tier for it. Maybe that's just me, though. Yeah, you get better at it. As you play it, you get better at it. Some people get stuck in this loop of, like, copy-pasting teams, and then they hit 2 buttons, and that's all they do for Gems of War. You gotta really, like, get good at the game before you do that. Like, I could imagine somebody... And it always sounds like so annoying. I know I sound annoying when I'm saying all this, but... Some people, like, probably start watching somebody else, like, as soon as they start playing Gems of War... And then they're just, you know, taking a team, pressing 2 buttons, and that's their whole gameplay. Like, you got to learn how to play the game, too. You got to learn how to match gems. You got to learn how to play with different troops. You got to figure out the mechanics of the game and get good at it. You can't just push 2 buttons and win all the time. I mean, that's what most of the game is, but if you can get good at the game before you start doing that, it's way better. Because then when you come up against something like Arena, you'll be ready. Or Guild Wars, you'll be ready. Or some restriction that's weird that nobody's put out a video for yet, you'll be ready to go and you can get started on it. Markio says, don't be asking us questions that make us look bad. There's a dungeon tool, but it doesn't work anymore, Pocket Trash. That's another thing that the devs did that everybody's mad about. That was one of the first things. That was, like, right in the middle. That's like the peanut butter and jelly of the dev screw-ups. We had Weaver Gate, then we had Dungeon Tool, Takeaway, and now we have, like, the missing Vault event, and there's a bunch of other stuff in between. Alright, let me go use this tool. Alright, I clicked on Sunday. It says, room 4 or room 5 is the pick. I always pick wrong, so you guys tell me. Should I pick 4 or 5? Everything is a 60% chance, except for 4 and 5, which are 80% chances. So we have a 4 and 5 chance of getting a good result if we pick 4 or 5. So should I pick 4 or should I pick 5? Let me do a poll. I always forget to do polls. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Ask a question. Which room that has 80% on tool? And we put room 4, room 5. There, I put a poll up. Vote on the poll, please. I'll just let you guys vote. if there's like a tie. Like right there, they're both 80%, so I have to choose between the two of them. I'll let you guys pick. If it says like 75% and everything else says 20%, of course I'm going to pick 75, but if there's a tie, I'll let y'all pick. Go ahead and vote on the poll, Sir Michael. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's true, Maka. If you're good at Arena, that means you're good at the game. Nobody wants to hear it, though. I probably just lost a couple viewers by saying that. But it's the truth. It's like, I don't know. It's like a truth that nobody wants to hear, whatever that is. I don't have a metaphor today. What's a truth that nobody wants to hear? That would be Arena. Maka said, I started to open Dungeons 1, 2, 3. I gave up, so you guys are buying the Dragonite from here? From Dungeon Offers? No, I'm not buying Dragonite. I'm going to wait until the Vault event comes on February 17th, see how much Dragonite I get from the Dragonite domes, and then go from there. I go broke if I start buying Dragonite from the dungeon. It's way too much. And you get addicted to it, and you start opening eggs, and you start getting the same dragons over and over. There's only like a few people out there that get lucky enough to get Diamantina. They're money bags. If somebody has Diamantina, just call them money bags from now on. Or Lucky Butt. Markio says, yeah, they are not rotating the kingdoms for sure. They should be, is what I'm... Yeah, but they're not, because Nexus has come through so many times. It's like when they put out a new kingdom, they run it through, like, extra times or something. But it used to be that every kingdom was on a rotation. And we could, like, bank on when it would... That's the problem with Gems of War right now, honestly. They're not on a set rotation anymore. They've kind of gone off the road and into the woods. You know what I mean? Next thing, what if the Soul Forge goes off cycle? That would be like the last thing. That's the last thing that's on cycle. The Soul Forge. Who knows, though? We should check on that. Maybe it's not on cycle anymore. Maybe it's patterned. Everything else is off cycle, so maybe the Soul Forge is off cycle. The kingdoms don't seem like they're on cycle anymore. The Nexus has been... We've seen the Nexus like 5 times in the last 6 months. That's impossible. There's like 35 kingdoms, 36 kingdoms. So we shouldn't see the Nexus, but like 1.5 times a year. And we've seen it 5 times in the last 6 months. That's way too much. That's way too many times. That's like 4 times what it should be, or something. So they're off on that. And then like the event schedule for the events, they're off on that too. So how many things is there where they need to stick to a schedule and do a cycle? There's probably 3 or 4, right? And they're not even on schedule or cycle for most of them. So that just shows that the game is kind of crazy right now. Pocket says, in my best dev voice, we didn't have Nexus at all. What are you talking about? Yeah. What? We're not lying. There was never a Nexus. There was never a kingdom rotation. What are you talking about? Nexus, the other kingdoms don't exist until we say they do. Like, what do you mean we're supposed to have a different kingdom every week so you can, like, use event keys and get stuff from that kingdom and stuff? What do you mean? That doesn't exist until we push the button. There's no schedule. There's no rotation. We're not lying. Even though there was for, like, 3 years straight. Even though we had a kingdom rotation for 3 years straight. No, it doesn't exist until we say it exists. That's not a lie. Just because we've had Nexus 5 times in the last 6 months and we're not on rotation anymore, there's nothing different happening. It's not a lie. It's so weird what they think is a lie and not a lie. Alright, let me do this poll real quick. Yo, SnubNose0, thank you for becoming a member. Everybody must pray, P-R-E-Y, for the new center, the new choir member. SnubNose0. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Join button, link in the description. Helps a lot. Shout out to SnubNose0. Alright, let me click on this poll. Alright, everybody's saying room 4. Let's go. Ooh, you guys got it. Let's see what the tool says. Alright, so I'm going to I clicked on Sunday first, right? And it told me I had an 80% chance in room 4 and an 80% chance in room 5. We chose room 4. So now I'm going to tell the tool that room 4 had Diamantina in it. So I'm clicking on Diamantina on room 4 right now. Now it's telling me we have a 75% chance in 5 and we have a 75% chance in 3. The rest of them are only 50% chances. So the tool is telling me we have a good result, a chance of a good result in room 3 and in room 5. 75% chance. So I'll go do another poll because they're even. Room 3 and room 5. I gotta end this poll. See if you guys can get me a perfect today. Just gonna put which room. You guys know what we're doing by now. Number 3. Number 5. They both have the same chance. They both have a 75% chance of a good result. Yo, Chad, thank you so much. You're a freaking legend, bro. He said, welcome to the choir. $5. Thank you, man. Thank you. Abraham Lincoln. That was funny, though, Pocket Trash. Maka says, well, I bought only once, I guess, and I only have one dragon, so I'm just curious where you got your Dragonite, so perhaps only safe thing. Maka, I did buy Dragonite for the first, like, 5 to 10 days, and then I realized it was making me broke, and I was, like, getting repeat dragons and stuff, and it was like a trap. So I stopped buying Dragonite, and I stopped advising people to buy Dragonite. But I did get some from perfect runs and from those first 5 to 10 days. I've had some perfect runs, don't get me wrong. Back when the tool worked, I got like 3 to 5 perfects within that time frame. It only worked for like a week maybe. But back when it worked, I got like 3 to 5 perfects while it was working. I'm pretty sure. So I've had some perfects which give you Dragonite. Like over all the weeks and weeks and weeks that we've had it by now. I've probably got like 10 perfects overall. So I've got, 1,000 Dragonite from perfects, and then like I've bought like some Dragonite, so enough for like 4 eggs. But then I quit when I kept getting repeats. I have 3 brown dragons. If you're thinking about crafting an egg or buying some Dragonite, think about this. I have 3 brown dragons, and I've only opened 4 eggs. I've only opened 4 eggs, and I have 3 brown dragons. Tim has the same thing. It's U7. He has like 5 brown dragons, and he's only opened like 7 eggs or something like that. So, that's the way it is. If you're going to like spend a bunch of gems, you're going to waste a bunch of gems. Because you're going to get the same dragons over and over. You might as well wait until there's Dragonite gnomes during a vault event. And then, like, to close the gap, maybe you can buy some Dragonite. I wouldn't buy the Dragonite first and go broke and then do a vault event. I would do a vault event, see how much you get from Dragonite gnomes, and then maybe close the gap with some by buying some. It's not the other way around. People are just impatient. They might be as elusive as cursed gnomes. You're right about that. Makase, yeah. It's only 200 or 300 gems, but, it's right here. It's 300 gems for 60 Dragonite. That adds up over a week if you're buying it every single day. That's 2,000 gems. 2,100 gems. That definitely adds up, because you have other stuff that's going on. If you're being a responsible player, you got to spend some gems on some other stuff, too. So it's not just 2,100 gems a week. If you have a faction come through on the weekend, and you got to do, like, level 500 pure faction deathless, like I do, that costs like 2,000 to 3,000 gems. And then like Guild Wars will come in behind that, and that costs like a little bit of gems. And then a pet you need really bad will come through on Wednesday, where you only need like 3 more copies, 5 more copies, and you got to buy a couple baskets. And then the normal events with your guild, like you got to spend gems on that, and it just stuff will keep piling up to where you end up with like 1,000 gems or less, and you're like, where'd all my gems go? Well, you bought a bunch of Dragonite for 2 weeks straight. There's 4,000 of your gems. And then you had guild wars and factions and pets and all kinds of other stuff, and now you have no gems. It happens very fast. Unless you have 20,000 gems, it happens very fast. 10,000 and under, your gems are gone in like a week or two. So don't think you have like, oh, I'm fine, I got 10,000 gems. That can be gone in like 2 weeks, easy. Especially if you're buying Dragonite. It's happened to me. I've experienced it myself. I'm not just making stuff up. Alright, let's see what y'all decided for this JM Ricks 6 months anniversary. Thank you so much, JM Ricks, for the 6 months. I'm gonna get more excited about that. You guys put your put that in there once a month. Celebrate your memberships. I keep getting lag on the stream. I hope it don't go down or something. Alright, let me see what y'all decided for this dungeon. Alright, 69% of y'all said number 5. Let's end it on 69. Usually you start on 69, you don't end on 69, but we're gonna end on 69. Oh, somebody voted number 3. Now we didn't end on a 69er. Oh well. We'll still pick number 5. Oh my gosh, and it's cursed. Because we didn't end on 69. Alright. Well, let's plug it into the tool. We want to see if the tool still works or not anyway, so let's hit the trap here for number 5. Even though it says spike trap, by the way. That's not a spike trap, that's a cursed trap. So it's already wrong. But I'm going to click on spike trap and see what it says. It says I have a 100% chance in room 3 now. Hey, and there we go. I'll click on Mongo. Now it's telling me I have a 100% chance in room 2. Dang, dude, it would have worked. If we would have picked 3, we would have got it perfect. But this was kind of wrong. It was a trap, but it says cursed trap. And on the tool it said spike trap. So, but it would have got me a perfect. If I had picked 3 instead of 5, I would have got a perfect. So, good and bad on this try of the dungeon tool. Does it completely work 100%? No. But will it get you a perfect? If we had picked 3, it would have. So, it could have got me a perfect today. That's pretty cool. Yeah, click the thumb. Let's get some more people in here, y'all. Let's have a party. Let's have a Sunday morning sermon. Spike trap. There's the spike trap, though, so that's cool. Like, at least it knew there was a spike trap. No, I'm staying. Going upstairs. I'm too lazy to go up the stairs. It's easier to fall down the stairs. Alright, let's pick all these blinkies up. As they get on my nerves. Just like I was just saying. Remember? Verse right here. So this is another place where you would get a verse. And it's another place where you would spend gems and be like, where'd all my gems go? Boom, bought the verse. Offers, another place where you can spend gems and not remember that you did it. So, Dragonite, faction events, guild wars, just regular events. A pet comes through that you kind of need real bad and you only need like 3 more copies. Offers. You could go from 10k gems to 1k gems really fast in this game. Even if you're spending responsibly. The only part that's not responsible is buying the Dragonite. You could do everything else fine, perfectly, and just buy Dragonite every day, and you're going to go down to 0 gems. Unless you have like 20k gems, like I said. Then it's a whole different story, and I'm not talking about you. Like, you were waiting for something like this. If you have 20k and above, like you have 20k and up gems, then you were waiting for something like this to spend them on. So you're a totally different league. Not talking about you at all. Like, that's what you're waiting for. That's what you're going to get Diamantina. That's what you've been waiting. That's why all your gems are stacked up. That's why you have 20k, 30k, 40k, 50k, 80k gems. That's what you have them for. To buy Diamantina. You've been waiting for that. But most of us most of us, the 90% of everybody else, we don't have a huge stack of gems we've been waiting to spend. So we can't just sit there and buy Dragonite every day like you. Alright, so dungeon didn't work. We did adventure board. Let's go do Lunar Revel. I bought the Crimson Armor. Because I thought it was the coolest thing you could buy. And Tuzi's not very good, so who cares about Tuzi? We'll get her in a minute. Alright, I've been doing the Phoenicia Magma Dragon. This team's kind of like clunky because the Harpy Mage. We can't use Leprechaun. I almost want to take it off, but it's been working good enough. It's not like a super duper high recommendation for this event, but it's been working so far. Like the Harpy Mage, you cast it. First of all, it's blocking the Phoenicia with the red and yellow. Second of all, when you cast it, it does a Brown Storm, so Phoenicia has to kind of wait until Magma Dragon goes. So just make sure you don't do that. You don't want to like cast Harpy Mage and then immediately cast Phoenicia, because then she'll hit for less damage. You want to cast Magma Dragon first and then cast Phoenicia, because then you'll have the Red Storm. Phoenicia hits harder. I was making that I made that mistake one battle, and I was like, what? Why did she hit as hard as she usually does? I'm like, oh, there was a freaking Brown Storm from stupid Harpy Mage. I didn't have my Red Storm. Now the game's taking forever to load. There we go. Alright, let me see what y'all are saying. Ebony says, why don't you bring that to someone's attention about the Nexus? Because they will just gaslight us and act like it doesn't exist, like they did with the Vault event. People are trying to bring stuff to their attention all the time on the forums. That's why I was going to make that series, the forum drama series, because that's what I would be doing. I would be putting more attention on it. Like, the people on the forum can only do so much. There's only so many people that go to the forum, and then they have to, like, they have to go to the forum, then they have to go to that thread, and then they have to read all the stuff in that thread. Not everybody wants to do that, so there's only probably like 100, 200 people that even know that we skipped a Vault event. So I was going to do a video series about forum drama. That way I can bring it to more people. You know, like 1,000 people watched it instead of like now 1,000 people know that over 1,000 people know that we skipped a Vault event instead of just a couple hundred. So I am bringing attention to things, but another point though is that it's part 1. It was a pretty juicy topic, and it only got 1K, so I'm not super excited about it. You would think I would be for a 1K video, but it was like a really good topic, and it was like a part 1. So I was expecting like maybe 2K. I'm a little bit underwhelmed at the moment, but I'm happy. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll do a part 2, and that'll be it. Sometimes that happens. But I'm going to wait for a nice juicy topic. But yeah, the Nexus coming through so many times in a row is definitely along the same lines as skipping a Vault event. They're just going to say, well, we introduced the Nexus like 6 months ago. We're just trying to get all the troops out. So we have to do extra Nexus weeks to get out everything for the new kingdom. That's all they're going to say. Still stupid though. It makes it to where, like, our event keys are not worth as much. You know what I mean? If we have the Nexus 5 or 6 times within 6 months, that's like 5 weeks where our event keys aren't worth dookie. When before, we could have had a chance at, you know, Adana or Zul'Kari or whatever, Zajin, different kingdoms with different mythics, with different cool legendaries to use our event keys on. They're kind of like they're giving us way more of the Nexus, which has a crappy event key drop table, and less of other stuff. They're kind of devaluing our event keys. And nobody probably even knows it. Nobody's thinking about it like that. Okay, if we have the Nexus every other week, those event keys are worth way less now. And it feels like we're having the Nexus like every 5 weeks or so. It's annoying. Somebody should go to the forums and complain about that. Go complain about the Kingdom schedule and how our event keys are worth less because we get the Nexus so often and nobody needs the Nexus with their event keys. And now instead of something else, we're getting the Nexus again and again and again. So we can't use our event keys. Somebody go complain about that. I'm not a big, I don't like to make topics and respond and stuff on the forum because there's some people on there that don't like me and I don't want to get into arguments and stuff, so I stay away from it. I like to argue, but not on there. Because there's like a higher concentration of people that don't like me on the forum than like on my own channel. Let's see. So then they don't fight fair. And I don't get much backup. Sometimes. Let's see. Let's do Harpy Mage. We need to get up our Phoenicia, so we need like green. There's an extra turn though. Green and yellow. See, this is the annoying part of this team. Like normally you just bang bang. Sometimes you gotta fiddle fart around for a second when you don't have Leprechaun. Come on, stupid game. And it's not killing all the way now. I might switch to Zul'Goth, but like next week. I remember Chatathon next Saturday. It's our every other month special event. First hour is free, and then it's $5 for every 15 minutes after that. So memberships, super chats, super stickers, gifted memberships, it all counts. And you can make me stream for up to 7 to 8 hours. And we can do lots of fun stuff. We break the record every time that we do a new one. We got to make up for last time where I went off stream, like the stream died like 3 times. We need to have like a good solid chatathon. Our last one was kind of weird and it was all my fault. So hopefully, the PlayStation's been very good lately, so I'm hoping it... My luck though, you know how it goes. As soon as we're about to do a chatathon, it'll start acting up. It hasn't acted up at all since the last chatathon. Maybe like that week, a little bit after the last chatathon for like a week, it was acting up. And then all of a sudden, it stopped acting up for like the last 2 months. So I can just see it. I'm going to bet on it now that it's going to act up this next Saturday. All of a sudden. Because I got a chatathon scheduled. That's just how my life is. If there's going to be a green light, it's going to turn red like 5 seconds before I get there. It's just how it goes. I'm expecting it. I need to find a way to like bet on my bad luck. If I could find a way to bet on my bad luck, I would be rich. I'd be super rich. Why'd I take yellow? That was dumb. I was too busy talking. You know I say that I'm better when I'm not on live stream? Sometimes that's not true. Sometimes when I'm not on live stream, I just press buttons and stuff like a ape. You know, like, I don't play perfectly 24/7 on this game. Sometimes I'm just like, whatever, just come on, blah, 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 and I just blah, blah, blah it, you know? So I don't always play perfect, but I try. Like right now, I definitely did not do that battle perfectly. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm on live stream, so I'm not going to be playing as good as I normally do. But then one day I was like sitting there aping it. I'm like, that's not true. Sometimes I just ape through it. Like, whatever, I don't care. Blah, blah. Pick this gem, pick that gem, cast this, whatever, who cares? Nobody's watching right now, I don't care. You just ape through it. Especially at a higher level where you're like never gonna lose. You might as well just ape your way through it, like pound on the controller and the keyboard until you win. It's like when you're tired or sick of the game, you just play it like a monkey. Alright, let me catch up in the chat here. So I already bought the Crimson Armor. I now have almost enough for a second or third Toozy, Lil Sis. Does anybody else think Toozy's Lil Sis is a lazy name for that pet? Maka says, what tool do you use? I can, I've put the link in several places, but I can do it again here. Let me put it in the chat right now. It's not like, I don't like to link it too much because it's not perfect and it doesn't work as much as it used to. Like, it used to work like 75% of the time. Now it works like 60, 55. Mary Musgrove says 345 was hers today. Maka said I had 2 or 3 perfect runs. That's good. Snubnose says, thanks for the video, Cinny. I've been playing since last September, and your videos have been the best resource for teaching me about the game. Best gems YouTuber out there. I agree. Of course I do, though, you know. JM Ricks, what up? Maka says, true, Cinny. That's why I bought it only once, so that's why I have only 1 dragon. Yeah, but don't feel like... You don't need to have the dragons. I mean, they're good and everything, but it's a big investment of gems. And anybody that's like wiping Explorer 12 with 2 Diamantinas right now, they had tons of gems or they had really, really good luck. So it's not like the majority. It's not the average player. The average player is not wiping Explorer 12 with 2 Diamantinas right now. That's like the super elite, high level, super in-game person that's getting everything as soon as it comes out. That's who's doing that right now. That's the top 1%. Thanks, Maka. Masked Bishop is here. I haven't heard that name in a while. Masked Bishop, what up? Ebony Brown. When are they going to have a new underworld? I don't know. They should make an overworld is what I always say. Elgin says that there's somewhere we can look to confirm exactly how many times the Nexus has actually come through recently. Possibly. I always have trouble looking up, like, the history. I know how to look up spoilers. I'm sure you could, though. There's Terran's World. There's, like, Gems of War database. Gemologic something. Gary's something or other. If you go to Terran's World, there's some links to some other websites. If you go to, like, Gems of War database, they have links to other websites. The forum has some stuff. Gemsofwar.com has some stuff. Like, you could find it. Or you could look at my channel and, like, just see how many times I've done the Nexus in the past 6 months. That might be even easier. Because every time I try to look something up on, like, Gems of War database or Terran's World, it's always weird and I can't figure it out when it's, like, about history. If it's something in the near future, it's easy, but... Like, if I want to know the date that Chalcedony came out or something, I can never figure it out. I can never find it. It's so annoying. Because I've wanted to make videos based on that before, and I can never find the information. So somebody let me know, too. Because I don't know exactly. I would love to look up, like, every troop that came out in 2022 and, like, make a video about that. But it's... The way they do it, they don't put, like, dates next to the troops when they came out. And they don't, like, order them in the order of when they came out or anything. So it's really hard to figure out. Like, the best resource to find, like, when something came out almost that I know of is, like, my channel. Because you could... Because as soon as something comes out, you can see a thumbnail with it. I don't know. Masked Bishop says, isn't gaming meant to be challenging? Why cry about it? Exactly. I agree with that. I love games to be challenging. I don't want to sit here and just waste time on something that's not challenging. Like a Lego game. You die and you come right back. That's for, like, kids. You got to grow up eventually and play a game where it's, like, a little bit of a challenge. Like, sharpens your mental or your hand-eye coordination or your memorization or something. It's got to, like, be improving you a little bit, or else it's got to be not a complete waste of time for me. I can't play a game where it's not improving me at least a little bit. I would never play a video game where it's just so easy that I'm just sitting there, like, drooling out of the side of my mouth. It just feels like a waste of time at that point. And like, that's cool when you're like a child. If you're like 5 years old, if you're 10 years old, sit there and with drool coming outside your mouth. Like, it's not a big deal. But when we're 30 and we're 40 and we're 50 and we're 60, we probably shouldn't be doing that. We should probably be getting better every day. Elgin says there's challenging and then there's challenging. This is honestly just kind of weird and not standard scheduling. Right. What the heck? Mass Bishop says, to be honest, I believe they only have a handful of developers. Anthony's here. What up? Maka says, I agree with Elgin. They should probably tell us their intentions, at least to be fair to the players. Anthony says Nexus 4 times since November 29th, 2021. That don't seem as much as I thought it was. You don't mean 2022? Has it been out for that long? Maybe it has. It just feels like it's like way more than that. 4 times since November, because that's a whole year. That's a whole year and a couple months. So in 14 months, 4 times. That is still a lot, though. That's like every 3 months. A little bit more. Every 3.5 months, we get Nexus. And there's 36 kingdoms. It should be every 3 months. It seems like a little bit too much. Even, if that's true, Anthony, then it's almost right, but it's still a little bit too much. Maybe they had one extra one in there. Sometimes even like one extra thing feels like a lot. When you're looking for something else and you're looking for a strict rotation. When you get one extra thing of something you don't want, you can like really tell. And it feels like it's at least come through one extra time. Like, how many times have you guys seen Elementalist and like the Delve and everything? Like, I swear it's been way more than that. I do this every single week. Like, I do the spoilers and I do the weekly preview, and I swear it's been the Nexus like way more than 4 times. Unless you mean 2022. But you might be right. Here's another place where you spend gems. A little bit 50 on this thing. So you've seen me spend like 100 on just 2 random things that I probably wouldn't even have thought of when I was talking about it. The offer for the Writ, and then the extra battles for the Lunar Revel. 2 things I might not have mentioned when I was talking about what you spend gems on. So 100 here, 100 there that you don't think about. And all of a sudden you got 1,000 gems instead of 10,000. Maka says some month before I join your channel. Anthony says Soulforge weapon history shows 4 times. L says it's definitely possible that we're just fixating on it because it's not worth getting excited about the keys. Yeah, maybe. It feels way more. I'm gonna look into it on my channel too, though. I want to make sure it's been just 4 times. Does anybody else here think that sounds right? Like, I trust Anthony and everything, but just like the feeling that you get when he says it's only been 4 times in the last 14 months. That don't feel right to me. It feels like it's been 4 times in the last, like, year. Or not year, like 9 months, 6 months. There's 36 kingdoms for... What is that, 9? Yeah, it should be like every 9 months it comes through. Right? 52 weeks in a year. 36 kingdoms. Still too much, right? Even if it's 4, it's still too much. But there's probably one that doesn't count, like when it first came out or something like that. They're going to say that that time didn't count. I can already see the argument on the other side, even if it's only one time too many. It's gonna be like the first time it came out doesn't count or something. Because it's not even in the rotation yet until it's actually out. But there definitely was a Vault event scheduled for January 13th. That has nothing to do with the Nexus. Just another thing that's weird. But yeah, we got Tower of Doom next week, so Brown Tower of Doom starting tomorrow. We got Towers all week. It's a Tower week. Somebody put that in my comments. I'm like, oh yeah. I think it was Sebastian, maybe? It's like a tower, another Tower week, all towers. We got Tower of Doom, and then we got Invasion, which is like the tower event. So we got towers all week. It's a Tower week. That'll be easy for me to remember. Normally I can't remember like the weekend event, especially if it's Invasion or Raid, because they're real similar. Now I'll be able to remember that's a Tower week. And I don't have to do my world event scoring video. That always makes me happy. I don't really like doing that one Sunday night. I usually play EverQuest Sunday night, and I don't really like jamming it in there. And it doesn't get a lot of views anyway. Like, I'm trying to, like, enjoy myself and play a different game, and I have to, like, jam in this scoring video. And then it only gets, like, 300, 400 views. It's like, So whenever we don't have a world event, I'm like, yay! First of all, world events are annoying anyway. Second of all, I don't have to do my scoring video. Let's see. Let's just grab Brown. Let's try to get this Magma Dragon. The enemy's getting pretty tough for this team. Might switch to something else. Dang, it's only been an hour so far? Mass Bishop says, I'm sure they have a notice board somewhere. Ebony says you can also ask Google, but they'll tell you. Anthony says we have had Elementalists 6 times total. Chris says, good morning, Cinny, and all you fellow sinners and everyone else. See, that's what it is, bro. Elementalists 6 times. So how come we only had the weapons 4 times? If we had Elementalists 6 times. 6 times sounds more right to me. If we've had Nexus 6 times in the last 14 months, that's pretty much exactly what I said. And if we've had Elementalist 6 times, that means we've had the Nexus 6 times. Except for, like, there might have been 1 on the weekend. So it's probably been 5 times. Maybe the first time they didn't have the weapons in the Soul Forge, so there's actually been 5 of them. That'll be my guess. I bet you there's been 5 Nexus Kingdom weeks in the last 14 months. Which is a lot. Because the first time, there probably wasn't weapons in the Soul Forge or whatever. And then there's probably a time where the Elementalist class was on the weekend. So you got to take 1 away from that. You got to add 1 to the first thing Anthony said, and you got to take away 1 from the second thing Anthony said. Plus, it's right in the middle anyway, so that on average, I bet you there's been 5 Nexus weeks in the last 14 months, which is way too much. We should get 1.5 a year. We should get 3 Nexuses every 2 years. And we've had 5 in the last 14 months. That's way too many. That's two more than what we should have got for 2 whole years. In 14 months. Something like that. I'm just guessing and theorizing, so don't hold my feet to the fire, but just feels, the way it feels. Going based on feeling right now. Time flies when you're having fun. Chris Lazama. Pocket says, if they don't put a good weapon in the Soul Forge soon, I might die. Thursday, December 2nd. Oh, I know, dude. Anthony, it's the new kingdoms that are killing us, and the kingdom passes. That's what's screwing up all their scheduling. I just realized that the other day. You know, like the Vault event not happening in January. You know why? That's why. You know why that is happening? Because of the Kingdom Pass, and it's the Zalkari Kingdom Pass that nobody really cares about. Like, it's all cool. I was excited when it first happened. Like, oh, Kingdom Passes. You know, they're gonna update some old troops. They're gonna give us some new troops. They're gonna you know, whatever. The Kingdom Pass. But when they start doing old kingdoms and they have to do battle crashers and it takes that long to do a kingdom pass, like it takes, I forget how long however many days it says at first, remember? It's a long time, the kingdom pass. They need to shorten it or something. They need to let us get like 20 crowns a day, or I don't know. Because like the battle crashers is what's making them not do the Vault events. So every time they put a Kingdom Pass in, they can't do a Vault event during that period of time. And it's such a long period of time that it's almost impossible to not skip a Vault event. And this is something we're not really asking for, these Kingdom Passes for old kingdoms. Like a new kingdom, I get it. When we had Nexus or we had Hellcrag, like, yeah, they got to do a Kingdom Pass because it's a new kingdom. But when they go back and do an old kingdom, and now we got to skip a Vault event because they're going to add in 1 or 2 troops and balance a couple troops, like, that's not fun. That's annoying. And that's pretty much what it is. When they do a kingdom pass for an old kingdom, they're skipping a Vault event. So if you're on the fence about whether you like the kingdom passes for the old kingdoms, just keep that in mind, that they're taking away a Vault event to give you that. That's how it feels anyway, and I'm pretty sure that's true. Because why else would they not just let us have a Vault event? We didn't have to, like, the Kingdom Pass thing, we don't have to have Arena to make the Kingdom Pass work. And we had Arena twice in like 3 or 4 weeks. Arena has nothing to do with the Kingdom Pass. It's just another event they could do instead of the Vault event, which the Vault event screws up the Kingdom Pass, or the Kingdom Pass screws up the Vault event, so they couldn't do the Vault event. So instead, they did Arena, which has nothing to do with anything, and that's why they did it. So in them giving us a Kingdom Pass for old kingdoms, they're stealing a Vault event from us. So it makes it more annoying. It's already kind of annoying to go get your crowns every day and stuff. Like every new event they introduce, they always put like a really annoying event. And then they try to give us something fun like Dragonite, and it's like they bring in like a really annoying event and then they do a kind of cool event, and then they do annoying, cool. That's their pattern lately. Like nobody likes World Event. Nobody likes Kingdom Pass. But then they'll put in stuff like Gnomapaloozas, Dragonite Gnomes, and Dragonite and Cool Dragons. Like, they're really hot and cold lately. They're either putting stuff in that is awesome and everybody wants, or they're doing stuff that nobody likes. Tell me I'm wrong about that. They're super hot and cold lately. With tons of bugs. Tons of bugs going on, and they're super hot and cold. That's really weird, and not something I like to see from a game I've been playing for like 6 years and making videos for 6 years. The #1 game on my channel. Not something I like to see. It almost brings me back to when the PS5 was coming out, and I was getting nervous about Gems of War back then, because I was like, who's going to still play Gems of War when there's a PS5 and like maybe Gems of War 2, or like, you know, back when PS5 was coming out, Pocket, or what's it called, the other game that they make? I always forget because I never play it. The heck's it called? That other game that they make. I thought that plus PS5 was going to equal Gems of War dying. Luckily it didn't happen. But I almost feel like that now again, with the way they're acting. Puzzle Quest, that's what it's called. I was going to call it Pocket Trash or something. The game is trash, though. DC United's here, bro! Thank you so much. DC's a freaking legend moderating Reaper, and he said, "Hiya, Sinnycool and all you Sinners, choir members, and lurkers alike. Glad to be with you all. Please do cozy up to that like button and give it a gentle touch. Show Sinny Man some love. Do it." Yeah, there's 29 watching, 19 likes. Let's see one person get up and hit that like button right now, and I will celebrate good times. Oh, yeah. I will get up and do a dance if somebody does it right now. I want to see the number go up. You can affect the whole live stream. Oh my god, yeah, boy! Thank you so much. I'm like doing a dance right now. You ever see the Jesus dance that they do on the TikTok? I'm doing that right now. Walking on water. Thank you. Appreciate it. Right, Pocket Trash? They haven't put a good weapon in the Soul Forge in a while. Alright, I'm done with Lunar, Revel. I'm done with Adventure Board. I'm done with Dungeon. I've been, like, talking a lot and not playing. Let's see. Let's do raids, I guess. Wrong menu. What I usually do, and you could see this on the spoilers if you watch closely, like, whenever there's 2 guild events going on, and they're both not done yet, I'll go to both of them, and I'll see which one I'm lowest on, and then I'll go work on that first. So, like, I'll go to my guild, I'll go down, I'll see where I'm at. So I'm 16th place here on the raid boss. And this only matters if they're both not done yet. If you're done with an event, don't keep doing it. That's a big waste of time. And here, look, I'm 21st, so I should probably work on that. As long as it's not done. It's not done yet. Is this one done? And this one's done anyway, so definitely gonna work on world event. I will show y'all raids, though, just for the live stream, but we need to work on world event. Alright, still doing the double Medea. It's still working. Plus, this team is way better than I thought it was. I came up with this while I was sleepy on Monday at like 4 in the morning. And it's way better than I knew that it was. This staff right here makes purple and brown. And then this Eldritch Minion turns brown to purple. That's awesome. So if your Eldritch Minion, who's empowered, doesn't have the conversion at the start of battle, you can hold it, and then you cast this, bang, and then you got this right after it. And that gets, like, everything gets up. And you can get up your Medeas, like, twice in, like, 3 turns. It's pretty good. Like, it has more synergy than I even thought of. I got me 2 medals. That should be good. But like Anthony was saying, we're about to get the new kingdom in like February something. And they're going to run a kingdom pass, you know? So they're going to give us that February 17th vault event. And then they're going to make the new kingdom. And then they're going to run a kingdom pass. And then we're not going to get a vault event for that entire period, most likely. Unless they decide to fix their game. And it's not even that big of a deal. I don't get why they don't just run a vault event during a kingdom pass. Remember that one weekend where we weren't getting the 10th crown? I think that's the whole thing. And that's not even that big of a deal. Like, who cares? There must be something else along those lines that's happening that I don't know about, you know? With the Battle Crasher and the... Because people have always speculated on the forums that whenever a Battle Crasher is running, that you get less gnomes during a vault event. Like, they're both considered Battle Crashers in the game, to the game. Like, in the game code or whatever. I'm not a developer, right? So I don't know what I'm talking about. This is just what I've heard and what I think, what I theorize. But, like, a gnome is a Battle Crasher, right? And then you have Battle Crashers for the Kingdom Pass that are crashing in to give you crowns or whatever. So you have 2 different Battle Crashers, and, like, if a Crown Battle Crasher crashes in, sometimes it takes precedent over, like, a gnome. And that's what they're thinking on the forums, like, are we getting less gnomes because there's a Battle Crasher with crowns? Like when this battle crasher crashes in with a crown, what should that have been a gnome at the time, and it wasn't because we got a crown one instead. And then with the 10th crown and everything, where if it crashes in with the 10th crown, like that crasher has like a special thing to tell the game to stop crashing in, I guess. I'm not sure on that. It's just a theory once again. Like something has to tell the game that you got 10 crowns and to stop crashing in the battle crashers, right? So I feel like the 10th one has like a special like code on, I don't know. I'm not a dev. It tells it to like stop doing it, right? And then when that happens, it accidentally tells the gnomes to stop. I don't know. So they can't do the 10th one. So that's why you only get 9. Because if they leave the 10th battle crasher with the crown in the game, it's going to stop every crasher, which means gnomes too. So they can't put it in. That's why you only got 9 crowns. But then during that one time that they did a vault event during a battle crasher thing. Maybe not the one time. There might have been more times, but they've always had kind of trouble. There's always been theories that it was messing up the vault event to have other battle crashers. But that's why that one weekend where we had a vault event and battle crashers, we could only get 9 crowns because they could not put in the 10th crasher because that 10th crasher tells the game to stop crashing. And a gnome is technically a crasher. And they know, like, we would have raised all hell if the gnome stopped because of the event. The other event. I don't know, just a theory. It sounds right, you know? Yeah, sorry. Yawning. Interesting theory. Go put it on the forum so I can make a video about it. That's my... I don't get why they don't just tell us that, though. Why they gotta be all shady and secretive about things. That's the only thing that makes me not think it's right, because it's not even that big of a deal. Why wouldn't the developers just tell us that? Like, you guys we're not doing a vault event during a Kingdom Pass because we don't know how to do it. Like, just to admit that you don't know how to do it, it's way better. Telling the truth is always the best option. Then you don't have to dance around and think about your lies and stuff. That's why I always say, I've never been a liar. Like, in my life, it's so much easier just to tell the truth all the time. Because then you don't have to dance around and look like an idiot and like a shady idiot, remembering all your lies and stuff. Just tell us the truth. It's not that bad. What's the worst thing that can happen if you tell us, oh, we can't do a vault event during a Kingdom Pass because we don't know how? Because they know that once they say that, we're going to say, okay, well, how many Kingdom Passes are we about to have? And how many vault events are you about to skip? They know that's the next thing. So they don't want to say the truth. Oh, we got Valpacia, and then we're going to do this one, and that one, and that one. How many weeks is there going to be Kingdom Passes going? Oh, and like how many times are you going to skip vault events? Oh, really? We're going to have like the least amount of vault events ever this next year? See, that they don't want us to start saying that crap, so they're going to just lie about why, so we don't start thinking ahead about other vault events and other Kingdom Passes. They're probably secretly like working on the problem, like trying to fix it, so they can run vaults during Kingdom Passes. Because if they can't, we're going to be skipping a lot of vault events this upcoming year. And they don't want to say that. They're trying to secretly hurry up and fix it instead of telling us the truth. They don't want to hear all of us talking about, well, you know, what does that mean for the future then if that's the reason? It's just so much easier to tell the truth, though. Maybe somebody could have a solution for you. Maybe somebody, they just don't want to hear it. Some people that play this game are super smart. You could get somebody out there that maybe knows that a solution. But they don't want to hear it. They want to be the hero and like do everything themselves. They never listen to the community. Or they do eventually if we complain and complain and complain and complain and complain. It takes like way more complaining than it should. But if you go on the forums and you complain enough, it does make an effect sometimes. I've seen it happen. What was the one thing that was like, oh, remember the vault event when they first put out Nomapaloozas? and some tattletale went on the forums and told them we were getting way too much vault keys or whatever. Remember that one Thursday when Nomapaloozas first came into the game, and there was like loot flying out of the game like nothing ever before? Some tattletale went on the forums and told. Developers were so quick to fix that thing. They aren't waiting on that one, but they'll wait on other stuff. If it's not affecting their bank account, they're on vacation, they're on break. They're not going to come back till Monday. But that Nomapalooza Thursday, they were so quick on that one. What else? The dungeon tool, bang. As soon as we had like a tool where we could get Dragonite more reliably, they were all over that thing. They destroyed it. Anything that's like makes the game fun and like gives us a bunch of loot, they're all over it, ready to fix it. But just a simple like crasher situation where it gives us less vault events, they're just taking their time, lying about it. So annoying. We need more like honest developers here. We're a really good community. They should be happy. They should treat us better. I feel like I'm not part of it, but I feel like y'all, people that spend money on the game, spend way too much. And they're probably making a lot of money. And for them to be making so much money and y'all be so generous and such a good community, for them to treat us like that, that's some bull crap. That's why they're getting so heated on the forum. A lot of them spend a lot of money. And they want, like, answers. I would, too. It's like investing into a company. And, like, you want to know what's up with the future. You want to know, should I keep investing in this company? And some people said, nope. A lot of them. It's been in my comments. It's on the forums, it's in my comments. People saying, I'm not spending another dime on this game until they fix this or that. Ever since this or that, I haven't spent a dime. People say that in my comments all the time. I probably see it more than anybody because, you know, just because I'm like a central place for people to come and to say that kind of stuff. Like, they're not, on the forums, they're not listening, and there's less people there. Like, there's 6,000, almost 7,000 people here to listen. So, I'm like a central place for people to come and tell me that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not spending another dime until they do this or that. Or, I'm not spending another dime since they did this or that. Like, people say that. I've seen that same comment, like, 20-something times, 30-something times. It makes me nervous, but, I don't know. I wish it would make them nervous instead of just me. I'm just like a parasite on the side of the big whale. I'm like one of those little sucker fishes on the side of the big whale that's just eating off the scraps. And the big whale is like the one in trouble. I gotta find me another big whale to parasite off of. I should have cast the other thing. Oh well. Too busy talking like always. Sir Michael says, I think they run it that often to add more troops to the kingdom. Yeah, that's what I was saying. They like have to. They need to like either do it more, like front load it, put more, or I don't know. Quit like spreading it out like cheeks. Like, do a lot in the beginning, and then one more and do the rest of them. Like, do 2 or something. Don't do, like, 5 and spread your cheeks for so long. Just open them real quick and then close them back up. You don't open them wide and leave them open. You just open them real quick and close them right back up. You quit spreading it for so long. But yeah, Volpacia, that's going to be another thing. But at least that's a new kingdom with new stuff. It's foxes, like, it's a complete new kingdom. Like, Zolkari, not even a new kingdom. And it's costing us a vault event. If something's going to cost us a vault event, at least it's a brand new kingdom. Like, that's better. The sting isn't as, you know, it doesn't hurt as much when it's a brand new kingdom with brand new troops and brand new mythics and legendaries and a new faction and a new class and all that new. That's way better than, oh, here's Valkyrie, we upgraded, we did a tiny tweak to this troop, a tiny tweak to that troop. We gave you like 5 new troops and only one of them's good, and all the weapons suck. You know? That's no fun. And they skip a Vault event because of it. But if it's a brand new kingdom, that's fine. Like, that's completely fine. Skip Vault events. Skip one Vault event for a brand new kingdom if you have to. Because brand new kingdoms, at least we're getting new faction, new class, new troops, new legendary, new mythic, new. But when it's an old, when they do Broken Spire and Valkyrie and stuff we already seen, and then they look at the kingdom pass. Let's look at it. There's nothing in here that anybody cares about. And this is the reason we're not having a Vault event. I hate this thing. I can never get to it. This is the reason right now that we're not having a Vault event. This right here. And I can't ever get to the thing. Alright. So, this guy is the reason. Something we don't care about. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong, you know? It's again just theorizing here, but this spider, who cares? Like, the pets are okay if it's a new pet. That's the only thing. Like, the Legends Reborn has nothing... That has nothing... Like, Legends Reborn is cool. They should just do that instead. Why do they gotta do a Kingdom Pass and a Legends Reborn? Like, just take the Crashers out. Take out the crown thing. Do something different. Like, make it slightly different. Instead of doing Legends Reborn and Kingdom Pass, do like a... Combine them together somehow and take out the Crasher part. But all this crap we can get, this is nothing special. Then we have this troop, which sucks. This one's actually good, but it's the only thing from the entire thing that's even kind of good. Empowered, brown to purple. We already have that, though, with the Eldritch Minion. And then this crappy weapon. I mean, if you're on the paid side... You get the Silken Queen, but she's no good. The Ace of Cups, which is no good and does nothing. Tarot cards used to make troops, and now they do nothing. So that does nothing. More of that pet. And then here we are at the Spider Throne. There's really nothing over here. This is the reason. This guy right here is the reason. He said no Vault event for you. What was I doing? I was doing the World event. The Elder Dragon. Yeah, the Kingdom Pass does not need to be a month long. And that's another way they could fix it easily. Make it shorter, make it more potent. Anthony says it's 28 days, isn't it? And yeah, 20 crashers a day and not reducing the rate after each crasher. Elgin says, yeah, it's a lazy game dev in my eyes. Rehash old stuff to make it look like new stuff, whether we want it or not. Tyrion Shark is here. What up? You're just here so you don't get fined. Chad's back. Elgin says, same with Legends Reborn. Legends Re-Yawn would be more accurate. Nice opportunity for monetization. That's probably why, Elgins, is 2 different things that they can monetize. Legends Reborn and Kingdom Pass. If they combined them together, it would be harder to... They'd be taking money off the table. It makes so much more sense to me for them to combine those 2 things together. They're both Valkyrie, right? Why do we have to have Legends Reborn and a Kingdom Pass? They could put them together somehow. Unless it's a new kingdom. If it's a new kingdom, by all means, do a Kingdom Pass. You want to make your money. You don't want to do it the way you used to do it, where there was no, like... thing to buy with real money. Now they added the Kingdom Pass so they could monetize the new kingdoms, right? Why do they have to be so greedy and do a Legends Reborn too, where there's a pet to buy? Like, just combine them together, make it one thing. It'd be so much more simple. And it would be way cooler and like different. It would, if you combine Legends Reborn and Kingdom Pass together, all of a sudden it's actually like a kind of exciting event. When you spread them apart like that, they're not as exciting. Especially the repeats. When it's a brand new kingdom, dude, that's exciting. But when it's a repeat kingdom, they gotta put them together. They got to. They need to. It's not as fun. Tyrion says the Vault event screws up the Kingdom Pass somehow. You only get 9 Kingdom Crashers instead of 10 during Vault events, but 100% rather have a Vault event. Everybody would. Yep. Yeah, it was Puzzle Quest. I'm way behind in the chat. I'm sorry. Here, let me catch up real fast. Let's play this battle, and then I'll catch up in the chat. Let's do this. Bang, bang, Medea with the 3-turn victory. Always better than, I'll kill the 1, and then I'll kill the 2, and then I'll kill the 3, and then I'll kill the 4. But I'm one-shotting. But it takes 4 turns every single dang on time. That's more time. That's more turn. 4 is more than 3. 4 is more than 2. 4 is more than 1. 4 is the same as 4. 4 is never better than Medea. Alright, let me catch up in the chat. I'll go super fast. Puzzle Quest was the thing I was talking about. That's how it feels right now. Back in the day when PS5 was coming out, Puzzle Quest 3 or whatever, at the same time, I was like, oh my god, what's going to happen with Gems of War? That's how it feels again right now. Just because they're like lackadaisical attitude towards the game. It's not because of any like new game or new system right now. It's just the same kind of feeling I had back then where I was like, oh crap, like, is Gems of War going to last? Or are we going to be playing this like 3 years from now? I don't know. Anthony says Arena, November through December was 6 weeks. December, January was 3 weeks. Close enough, says Sir Michael. Tyrion says Pocket Trash is an accurate description. Chris says, I forgot to hit like, so he did. Nice. Pocket Trash says Rope Dart or get the F out. Elle said, I was so excited when Rope Dart finally came around for me the first time. It's one of the best weapons. It has extra turn. It's like true damage. It has like Entangle or something. It's like really good. It has Destroy. Anthony says, it won't be Rope Dart. Need a Pride Lands week. Pride Lands is what we need. Anthony says OSHA's Tome will be there. That is a must-get. Yeah, OSHA's Tome is like the best thing that the Nexus has to offer. The only thing... And you've had 3-4 chances to get it, so it's not as exciting anymore. Even OSHA's Tome, which is a good weapon, like once it's been presented to you like 4 different times, like it's not as exciting now. Jamrick says Synergy, more like Synergy. Oh, Elgin says very true, great weapon. Tyrion, Funky Cold Medina. Anthony, it's the new orbs, Sinnycool. We are not allowed them. That is why there's no Vault events. That's another good point. They don't want to like give us a Vault event and give us the Dragonite and give us the new orbs and stuff like that. They don't want that stuff flying off the shelves. They want people spending real money. See how it all comes back to spending real money? Like, why separate the Legends Reborn and the Kingdom Pass? Greedy. Why not give us a Vault event? Greedy. Greedy, greedy, greedy. Chris says, wife just finally joined chat and hit the like button. Appreciate that. Shannon Hartwell says, good morning, Cinny, and all you sinners. Good morning, Shannon. Elle says, I know someone who tracked that, and there was no change when the gnome rate that anyone could see. Perfectly normal. Ghost Rebel says, they should be coded very similar. Mass Bishop says that's an interesting theory. Ghost Rebel says, yeah, they both replace normal troops. Ebony says, I'm so excited that we're going to get a new kingdom in March. Chris says, me too, I can't wait to see how it is. Ghost Rebel said, only difference is Battle Crashers only appear 10 times and gnomes are endless during a Vault event. Anthony said there should be an update on Tuesday, new campaign, and need put into the game. My luck, though, it won't be on Tuesday. That's another thing, dude. Good point. Like, we used to have kingdoms on a cycle. We used to have events on a cycle. We used to have stuff, like, happening when we would know it was going to happen. Like, it was on a schedule. Now with their updates and their patches, we're always on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. They had, like, a schedule. They used to have a schedule. What happened? I bet you they have an update tonight, or they have one Monday night, or they have one Wednesday at 2 a.m., or Thursday at 3:33. Like, they don't do it at the exact time anymore. They're just, whenever they feel like it, they're going to put out the update. I used to be able, like, I have a channel. I have to, like, cover this stuff. It's nice to know, like, when it's going to happen so I can be ready with my OBS and my headset charged up and, like, ready to go. But when they just put it up whenever they want to, that means I have to be on the website 24/7 if I want to, like, be the first guy to get the patch notes out in a video. I have to be, like, looking at their website 24/7 because they have no schedule and they don't know when they're going to do it. They're just going to do it whenever they feel like it. It used to be Tuesday at 8. If you go back and look at all the patches, like before the last year or two, every single patch, every single update was a Tuesday at like 8 p.m. Sometimes it was 7:30, sometimes it was 8:30, but it was never Monday or Wednesday or Thursday or Sunday at 3:33. It was always Tuesday around 8. Everybody knows this. Now they're just, whenever they want, they're going to do it. Just like vault events, just like everything else. They're flying by the seat of their pants right now. We're going to crash into the mountain. Anthony says, this is when we will be able to see when the next vault will be. GAP fixed within 24 hours. Dungeon tool closed in about 3 days. Yep. Tyrion says they did give up their holiday to start fixing a ban issue. Yes, they're mess up, but they were quick to fix it when they didn't have to be. Tyrion always defending the devs. I feel you, bro. We can't just pile on and pile on. But, they've been making a lot of mistakes lately. They kind of deserve it. John Fitzpatrick is lurking. I knew I felt more power in the air. Elgin says, ultimately, they're a business, so these things are to be expected. You can't let the game give everything out in spades, and for nothing, it's not realistic. The thing I'm having trouble with is, like, how the game was for 6 years straight. Like a schedule, and like it was nice and tidy for 6 years straight, and then all of a sudden the last 2 years it's been completely different and just flying by the seat of their pants. Like, I understand they got to make money, they got to do this, they got to do that, they got to do what they got to do, but how come for the first like 5 or 6 years it was one way and it was nice and scheduled and everything was cool and you knew when stuff was going to happen, and then all of a sudden the last year or two it's been, let's just fly by the seat of our pants. Like, I totally get it, devs, and let's have sympathy for the devs. They got to make their money. But it's when everything changes all of a sudden into something different that I don't like. Tyrion says, but the dungeons were supposed to be random. Tool proved it was far less random than it should have been. Technically, they needed to be fixed regardless. But once again, Tyrion, that's their fault that it wasn't, like, it was supposed to be random. Who was supposed to code it so it was random? The devs. Was it random? No. The devs didn't do their job. So, I mean, it's their fault. It was supposed to be fixed, but I'm just saying, like, they're really fast to jump on something that's giving us extra stuff, but they're not super fast to, like, do other things when something's wrong. Like, there's plenty of examples, and I just can't think of them. They're all over the forum where something's wrong in the game, and they take, like, 4 or 5 days until the next week to fix it. But you'd have to go to the forums and look up that thing after thing after thing after thing after thing. Like, we could say they were quick about the dungeon tool, they were quick about the bans, and they were quick about this thing, but then there's like 50 other small things that they're not fast about. And they're all over the forums. And how they wait all weekend, all the way to Monday, Tuesday to fix something. And I just can't think of the example because it's not like super duper memorable. Elle says, and yeah, they should care that 3 people will occasionally say they've never spending a dime again. That's the vocal minority right there. Yeah, you're right about that. John says it's okay getting more troops, but why we have so many troops already which never get used? For me, that's a total waste of time. Sir Michael says, I really hate to say this, but the addition of Nomapalooza really hurts some of their classic parts of the game. No need to build soul farming teams or gold. Right. I'm glad you understand that, Sir Michael. Some people like clinging to their soul farming and gold farming. I'm glad you understand. Hey, thanks, Shannon. I love to rant. As long as nobody gets angry, I love to rant. Like, I always try to see both sides of the fence. So I like when people, like, say the other side, too. So as long as nobody's getting angry about something that has nothing... You know, nobody here is a developer. Nobody here... It's nobody's fault here. And nobody has really anything to do with anything, so we're just having a conversation. Nobody should be getting mad. I'm not getting mad. It may sound like it, but I just like to rant. I like to argue. I'm like having fun. You know, as long as everybody's having fun, I'm having fun. If somebody's getting angry or something, just, you know, you can always close the stream, mute me, and just come back some other time. You don't have to listen and keep, you know, if something like kind of makes you irritated, you can always like come back later. You know, I'll still be here. I'm just looking up for everybody though. Like, everything I'm talking about would make everything better for you and me. So I'm always just looking out for us. Maka says, yeah, I was surprised to have another Kingdom Pass in a row, just too close to the last one. Anthony says, get rid of Crasher and use excess reborn currency for the new troops. Chris said, would be nice if they added Dragonite to Treasure Hunt. I love the Ironhawk team, but the devs were quick to lower the pay tables when they saw people exploiting them. L says that extra currency is so pointless in Legends Reborn. Yep. It's kind of like getting class experience after you have the class to 100. Anthony says, when Salty left, I went... Oh, yeah, that's true. It kind of all went downhill when she left. I never really, liked her, but it's kind of true. I'll admit that. Whenever Salty left, that's kind of when everything started going downhill, and she wasn't even really, a big part of it. Maybe she just saw it coming. You know what I mean? Like, she's not the reason. She didn't, code the game. She was just, the community, she was, the secretary, basically, you know? She was just, she was the mouthpiece. She wasn't, in the game, coding the game and stuff. So, just because she left doesn't mean that they got worse or anything. But I think she must have saw something, she didn't like, and then she quit. So that's a good point. I did think of that the other day, when I was looking at the forums and it was Kafka on there, responding to people. It used to be Salty doing that. That did cross my mind. It hasn't been the same since she left. Chris says, well, Shannon Hartwell isn't my wife yet, but we have been engaged. I figured, dude. I didn't want to say it though. Stigmatic Bungie says, isn't the next Vault event on February 17th? Yep. L says, oh yeah, don't get me wrong, things are afoot for sure, but my point is that quickly fixing things that give us huge amount of resources has to be plugged. Yep, it's like bleeding, you're right. John says they don't have to report to their new bosses, it was more independent for 5 years. Sorry I'm not playing the game, y'all. I'm so far behind in the chat. I'm sorry if you're lurking. But, you know, live streams are about the chat and everything, mostly for me. I know other people play the game and, do what they're going to do, and they're kind of selfish, and they want to get stuff done that they need done, and, for them. I feel like other live streams are really selfish. They're just doing what they need to do. I would rather, talk to you guys, live. We never get to do this, so I'm going with the chat. I'm going to prioritize the chat. If I'm not playing the game, I'm sorry. I have plenty of videos every single day where I just play the game. But I do realize when I'm not playing and I'm just talking to the chat, but it's usually when I'm way behind. I'll do a battle so I don't feel like I'm not playing. We're doing just chatting. L says that's right, overlords. That's what I said. That was my theory. They got a new boss or something. Somebody bought out the company. Maybe that's when Salty left. Does that not sound like somebody, a dev might be lurking in the background right now just laughing because we're totally off base. But they might also be watching in the background and yep, but I can't say none of that because I'll lose my job or yada, yada, yada. I want to keep my job and I can't say nothing because they told us not to. But yeah, they got a new... It's 100% fact that they were, you know, bought by a different company or something, right? Right before Salty left. A year or less before she left. Weren't they purchased by another company and now they have new bosses or something like that? Something. And then she must have not liked it, and that was that should have been a clue. It'd be cool if we could talk to her right now. Ask her why she... All everybody's going to say is, well, you know, better job. She was different direction, you know, wanted to try something else. You know, they're just going to say that bull crap. They're not going to say, oh, she didn't like the new owners and wanted to leave because she didn't like her job anymore. No one's ever going to say that. Everybody's going to go with the canned, crappy response like, oh, I'm going to try something new, and doop-a-doop-a-doop. I hate that crap. It's like, tell the truth. New overlords. Elle said, I've dropped jobs with companies that get bought out plenty of times for this very reason. John says you must accept they are actually human beings and not robots, just saying. Yeah, it's just like there was one way, and then it changed. I don't like that. You should do a job, and you should do it the same way. Like, keep doing it. Don't stop doing it. I get that they have families. Everybody wants to stick up for them and stuff. It's probably not the... like I said, man, I'm not mad at the developers. I'm not mad at the guy grinding away, working hard, and doing his job, and... It's the owners and stuff. It's like the people that bought them out that are telling the bosses. You know? Whenever I say, like, the devs, I don't mean, like, the literal people that are being told to do things and it's not their fault. Like, I get it why people are like, oh, quit piling on them and stuff, and, like, they're just human beings and whatnot. But I'm not literally talking about, like, Kafka and Jetto and... you know, Syrian, and I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about, like, the bosses that are making them do these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm mad at Umbrella, not the zombies. Well, you can't get mad at the zombies. Umbrella caused them... They're still zombies, though, but I'm mad at Umbrella, not the zombies. But when I say I'm mad at the zombies because it's easier to say. Like, the zombies are making everybody... They're eating everybody alive. They're killing everybody, right? The devs are the zombies, and the owners are Umbrella. I'm really mad at Umbrella, but I just say zombies because it's easier to say. The zombies are the ones biting your neck and killing you. The devs are the ones pushing the buttons and making the things happen that are annoying. Just because somebody else is telling them to do that, they're still the zombies and they're still doing it. So maybe not their fault, and maybe they have families and blah, 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 but I'm mad at Umbrella, not the zombies. You know what I'm saying? Stigmatic says, devs are hard up for revenue. I've said before that they should do like they do on mobile and let us watch a short ad for rewards. But every time I log in, they're begging for $25 for crap rewards. Yeah, that's true. Imperial Topaz, you missed like the whole stream was just a rant. Elgin says, never underestimate strong leadership and diplomacy. Anthony says, yeah, IP2 was acquired by 505 Games. Yup. It's been sucky ever since. They gave us like 6 months to a year of, you know how it is. A new president comes in, they kind of like keep it the same way for like a year. Then all of a sudden you get reamed. Everybody gets fired, they bring in new people. It was like okay for a minute, so everybody thought it was going to be okay. But slowly going downhill. They should hire a new mouthpiece, but also, like, the things they're telling them to say is way worse. So even if they had a new mouthpiece, it would still be the same, like, message. That's why I bet you Salty left. She didn't want to, like, the things they were telling her to do and say, she probably didn't agree with or something. But I don't know. You know how it is. We're just theorizing here. Just like the video I made. Did they lie? I don't know. Maybe, allegedly... Can you or can't you? I don't know. We're just talking. We're just having fun. IP2 used to be Infinite Interactive. John says I have to answer to a boss. She's called wife. Yeah, me too. Stigmatic says I know who you're referencing when you say devs. Good. You know, you guys are smart. Sometimes when I'm ranting and raving, it sounds like I'm... Like if you just come in the middle of the rant. Like, you're going to think I'm talking about one thing when I'm really talking about another thing. Just because I don't like to specifically... Okay, hold on, everybody. Now, remember, I'm talking about the developers' bosses that are telling the developer... Like, every single time, I'm just going to say the word devs. Like, it's so easy to say, like, a 3-letter word than it is to explain it every single time I'm talking about it, to where I got to make sure I say the right thing and walk on eggshells. You know that's not me. So, sometimes I'm saying something, it's like a broader... thing, and it's not as specific as it sounds. Like, I'm mad at the company that bought out the old company. But I say devs because it's easier to say zombies than umbrella. Yeah, Kafka, yeah. I don't want to say that, but you're right. Pocket Trash said I'd be like, yeah, the bugs are my bad guys. I talked someone into letting me try coding. Ruhan, thank you so much. Gifted a membership. Appreciate that. Chat says, be right back if you're done with the stream before I get back. Take care, everyone, and thanks, Cinny. Gently caress the like button on the way out. Yeah, I might be done in like 15 minutes. I'm trying to catch up in the chat, and I'm just never getting there, which I'm glad. I'm happy for that. Elle says, having to be the liaison between dev and player base is just the pits, so awkward I should know. You're beholden to the guy at the top and the board, but you want to also do right by the players. Anthony got the membership. Shout out to Anthony, the new choir member. Everybody must pray. P-R-E-Y. Mass Bishop says, who does the artwork? Artwork's always been great. The one thing I saw recently was the new troupe that's coming on this upcoming week. Kind of looks like Shale. Like, maybe I hope they don't start getting cheap with the artwork, because that's like their saving grace right now. Like, what if they go with somebody new and it's all of a sudden different and looks so ridiculous? Wouldn't that be crazy? Everybody's like sticking up for everything, and all of a sudden we get like these weird looking troops that are like completely different. What if they cheap out on the troop art all of a sudden? That would suck, dude. We can start getting like these 1980 Power Ranger comic book looking weirdo. We get like stick figures all of a sudden. We got like a stick figure with a sword. Somebody's kid like became the new troop art. Well, the kid does it for free. Like, what do you expect? You know, these people want this much money, and my kid will do it for free. Well, stick figures and kitty cats. They don't care. They'll stick up for us anyway. The kid is just trying to do his job, guys. The kid is just trying his best. Doing stick figures and kitty cats. Let's get that big old purple. Medea makes you squealer. Welcome to the crazy choir, Anthony. Stigmatic says maybe they're more focused on their bigger game. Developers that work on Gems of War probably don't work on Death Stranding, do they? I understand, like, the people doing, I almost called it Pocket Trash again. Puzzle Quest. Puzzle Trash. I don't know. I might go down, y'all. My internet quality is currently not sufficient to broadcast gameplay. Well, this is a good test for the chatathon. If I do, like, share, subscribe, consider joining. Helps a lot, too. Get about channel comment below. Sometimes it just says that nothing happens. So we might be okay. Somebody let me know in the chat, though, if I lose y'all. Because the chat stays up like an extra minute or two, even if the stream goes down. It might be okay, though. Sometimes it just says that nothing happens. But sometimes it goes down. And it doesn't let me know until later. I'm sitting here talking to nobody. Alright, Chris, we'll see you, man. Don't you kill me, you shadow dragon, you. Quit looping. Still up for now, says DC. That's a bad sign for the chatathon, though, huh? I hope we don't have to deal with that next weekend. That makes me really mad. I haven't even played my other account in such a long time. It'd be kind of weird to have to switch over to that. Shannon, are you getting out of here too? I'm about to get out of here also pretty soon. What else do we got to do? What else could we do? Oh, I want to show like a raid team in case y'all are still doing it. Let's go do that after this. I'm only doing this because we already have raids done in my guild, and we don't have this done. I know raids is probably more topical, but it's also way easier. And we still got quite a bit to go. We gotta do 6,000. You know? We got like 5,000 left, and look how many points like the top guy has. That's like a whole person missing. We need like 10 people to get like 500 points. We're missing a whole person, that's probably why. What's up with this right here? He might have said something in the... I don't want to point out specific people, sorry. I love Mr. Extreme, by the way. Don't take it the wrong way. I get taken the wrong way quite a bit. Probably my own fault. Just happened to look at the bottom of the leaderboard. I wasn't trying to shade anybody. I'm down there too sometimes. I'm down there too sometimes. Alright, let's do a couple of these. You know, one thing I saw, you know, I watch Mr. T sometimes, every once in a while. I also popped in on Mr. CP the other day, just, you know, I don't hate everybody. And somebody in the chat was like, doesn't true damage make you score less points on raids? And I was like, that's a good point, but it doesn't work like that. I had to double check. I was like, alright. Because you're only hitting him for... You're not hitting his armor at all. And you know how raids work. You get, like, the points for how much damage you do to Zul'Goth, right? So I had to double check real quick. When I saw that message, I was like, is that true? I'm like, I don't think so, but I'm going to go check anyway. Because I'd kind of feel like an idiot if I was doing true damage and I wasn't getting, like, the full score for the Zul'Goth kill. Because you're skipping right by his armor. You're only hitting his HP, so if it really scored like that, you would only get the points for the damage that you actually did. But I guess like it's already calculated before you even like kill him, because you could like instantly kill. I guess you can't be instantly killed, but you know what I mean? Like you could kill him with true damage and you still get the full amount of points. Basically, is what I was trying to say. Why do I keep going to games? I thought that was, even though it was wrong, I thought it was still like a good point. It should have been a question instead of a statement. If somebody had asked that question, that would have been one of those good questions. But like, look at his, he has 400, right? Or is that, no, that's 410. He's got 410. So, you would think the way it works, you would only get 222 if you do true damage. So let's see after the battle, do we get 222 points or do we get 410 points? You can just check by running one battle. I thought that was a good question though. Like a good like beginner question. Like I wasn't even 100% sure. I should have took that blue extra turn. What an idiot. Alright, let's see how many points I get. Like, if I only did true damage, I would have got 222. Nope. 410. So it still counts. So you're fine to run Tesla. You're fine to run Tina. The advice still stands. I was nervous for like 1 millisecond, and then I double-checked. And it's all good, baby. We already got all rewards, so it's a big waste of time, but that's my team right there, Tesla. You could throw a raid troop on there if you want. If you don't have 2 Teslas, or you just want to do the raid troop instead of Clockwork Sphinx, or if you want to do Mang plus the raid troop. I have a video if you want the non-Tesla team. There's a raid video out. Let's see how much I gotta do some annoying stuff today. I might have to get off here. I forgot. Not looking forward to it. But remember, Chatathon is next Saturday. Most likely. Like, that's what I'm saying right now. I'm try to stick to it. I gotta start, like, promoting it. Or it's going to be my own fault when nobody's there. Let's make it not my own fault. So... yeah. Alright, anything else, y'all? Any questions? Let's run Glorfindel's team a little bit before we get out of here. I need to practice with it. That's probably going to be my next video. That was the idea, by the way. Remember when he showed me this team? Like, usually I would make a video on Thursday. My idea was the forum drama video. I need to practice with this team a little bit. I've been doing it off stream too a little bit, but not a lot. That's not it. There it is. Probably don't have the right medals, but I'm gonna lock it in. Need to practice with it so I can make the video. Green and blue. Don't step in poo. My daughter stepped in dog crap the other day. Almost went to school like that. Luckily I saw it. That would have sucked. What if you went to school all day with dog crap on your shoe? Wouldn't that be like a nightmare? It's almost like that dream where you're naked at school. Wouldn't it suck if you had like a giant dog turd on the bottom of your shoe, like all smashed in the cracks? You had to go to like work or school all day. And you didn't notice it? Like, the whole thing is like you don't notice it like at first. Of course you notice it eventually. It's stinky. But of course, like, if you notice it right away, you're gonna go fix it and blah blah blah. But like, what if you step in a big old pile, it gets all in the cracks and everything, and you don't notice it for the first like hour or two of work? You like keep smelling it. What's that smell? Woo! Somebody's stinky today, you know? Woo! Keep on getting a whiff of something. I don't know what it is. That'd be funny. You start blaming like the other guy, the cubicle. Man, Bob keeps farting. Bob, you need to go to the bathroom, bro. I'll be smelling a little whiff of your stinky boy. Stinky boy. You go to the bathroom. Come to find out, you go to the bathroom. Happen to check the bottom of your shoe. Like, ah, oh, man. Is that, then you think it's, nah, it's just mud. No. There's no way. No way I came all the way here and like sat in my chair for like an hour or two. There's no way. That was definitely Bob and his farts. That was not my shoe. It's definitely mud. It is not, no way. I didn't go anywhere near it. It's not that. It's definitely mud. Then you take your shoe off and you like get real close to it, take a big old whiff. You're like, oh my God. Ah. Like, I can't believe I'm going home. I'm out of here. I got diarrhea. I need new shoes. I got diarrhea all of a sudden. I gotta go. You just send a text. You don't even go. You go in there with your shoe off. What happened to your shoe? I don't know. I got diarrhea. I gotta go home. Well, how come your shoe's missing though? What? Nah, I mean, my stomach hurts really bad. I gotta get out of here right now. Well, where's your shoe? I mean, if I don't go now, like, I gotta leave. Like, I'm telling you, my stomach hurts really bad. Alright, we'll see you on Monday. Well, I don't know why you don't have your shoe on, though. You might want to put your shoe back on. Kind of weird. What you doing? Can't just leave like that. You know it's work. What you doing with that? But you're lucky the boss ain't here today. It's like a light day. What if the boss was here? You can't just walk around with one shoe. Just can't leave because you got diarrhea all of a sudden. It's not how it works. But I should have shot somebody else. See, I need to practice with this team. I shot the wrong person. Too busy talking about dog poop. I should probably practice this off stream. It'd be a better surprise anyway when I make the video. One time the closest I've ever been to like going to work with the doggy poop on my shoe. One time I was pumping gas, right? At the gas station. And like I got a little bit of gas on my shoe. And I was like, you don't smell it right away. And you go to work and you're like, look, I got gas on me. It stinks. I think I realized before I went to work though, and like went home and fixed it. Cause I don't remember like being all the way at work with it, but or maybe I wasn't like going to work. But I remember one time like the gas dripped on my. It wasn't even a lot, you know. I didn't like spray myself up with it. I didn't take a shower. You're like doing the gas. You take it out. This is when I was like a teenager, by the way. Like I know better now. Take it out and like way far away from yourself, or like tap it off into the thing, and then put it on the hook. You don't like take it out and wave it over your head. It always drips out. Like when you first like learned to do gas in the tank, yeah, I dripped a little bit on my shoe, and I smelled like gas for like an hour or two. It's a really strong smell. Well, it wasn't fun. All right, there's the extra turn. Extra turn? Nope. Alright, extra turn. Extra turn? Yeah. Extra turn? No. Extra turn, yeah. Extra turn? Oh, yeah. Extra turn? Yeah, boy. Ah, what the heck. There we go. Oh, forgot to do the spider. What a dummy. Ooh, we got 1,000, so never mind. Let's do this. See, I need to get better at this team. I could have already won. I always make it look slow. I make it look slow and hard. It's faster and easier than it looks. What is this? Yellow gems to web gems. Oh, yeah. Like that. Let's do it. Oh yeah, we just... See? I need to be better. I don't play with this very often. The one time on live stream and then like mess with it for like 10 minutes outside of that live stream. Now here we are again. It's butt mud. Yeah, I'm gonna be out of here soon, y'all. I don't blame you if you're already gone. We're at the very tail end here. Class is dismissed. Your fellow classmates are already running out the door, so you can follow along behind them if you would like. I'm just farting around for like 5 minutes. Probably not see anything interesting. You might hear some weird rants, though. You never know. Come on. This is it. I'm done. I'm gonna do this off stream. Let's just finish this battle. I need blue and green. Definitely don't need yellow. There we go. Do this. Do this. Didn't get an extra turn. Do this. No, do that. Do this. Do this. Do that. This is when it stalls out a little bit. Alright, do this. Ah, I hate when it misses. But at least you got the extra turn to go and grab it. Because there's a beast on the other team. And we need to look at the HP of our hero when it gets to like 800. Oops, I did it wrong. Dang it. I'm out of here. I gotta practice that. Alright. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your guild about the channel, comment below. What's coming up? So, we got Tower of Doom tomorrow, so I'll have Tower of Doom teams for you as soon as possible. Like, it might even be sooner than usual, so I don't know, though. I'm hoping to put out Tower of Doom teams as soon as possible. I'm shooting to do as early as possible. I don't want to, like, lock it in. It might be 5:30. It might be way earlier, so I'm going to try. Just look out for it. Put those notification bells on. I'm going to try to put those out super early. No scoring video because there's no world event. Then the weekly preview, aka the weekly guide or whatever you want to call it, that I've been changing the name. That'll be later on in the day. I like to let the team video like breathe for an hour or two, and then I'll put out the weekly preview with like the Soul Forge and event key drop table, glory keys, etc., etc., everything else. Then Tuesday faction teams. Wednesday I got something going on, so I don't know what I'm gonna do Wednesday, but live stream probably nope. But something else, I'll figure something out. And then Thursday may be a live stream. This might be the last live stream until the chatathon, which will be the real last live stream of January. So I might do a live stream on Thursday. We'll see. I don't want to, like... The live stream's really taxing on me. Like, it takes something out of me every time. You know, not so dramatic, but it does 7 hours of talking, 8 hours of thinking, of playing, of my type of talking and playing, and, you know, I'm already, like, introverted person that doesn't socialize too much outside of, people in my household. So it takes a little bit out of me to do the 7 or 8 hour live stream. So my voice, my brain, etc. So may or may not do that Thursday live stream. Might just do the chatathon. Then after I do the chatathon, I always feel a type, like, sometimes I literally get sick after a chatathon. Sometimes something else. I don't know. But hopefully not. Didn't happen last time. Anyway, but that's the schedule going forward. For some reason here for EverQuest, it's coming out later today. And yeah, let's say goodbye. Let me catch up in the chat. You said fart. John's out of here. Alright, let me see where... Let me find my spot. Coffins was here. What up, Coffins? We got the FF. Chris was out of here. DC. Beg said back from church, ready for some gyms and ready for some football. Alright, bro. Stigmatic. I don't have Tesla. I'm level 1,118. Oh, man, that sucks. She's really good. You know, it's not the end of the world. If you have Tina, or you can just use the, raid troop with the Mang, that'll work every single time. Raids is so easy. Invasions, they're so easy. They give you the troop, and then, like, everybody has Mang. So, just some combination of that with a mana generator, maybe another damage dealer, or something that makes skulls. Like, it's never that hard. Raids and invasions are the two easiest events in the game. You just need the troop that they hand to you. Maybe even the weapon, too, that they hand to you. It's pretty easy. Or you can use Mang or Earth's Fury or something like that, which you definitely have, because it's really early mastery weapons. Unless you did something crazy weird, like went all purple on mastery or something. You pretty much have to have those weapons. Coffin says I'm sitting at 3,999 gems, or diamonds. Any worth crafting? This week? Coffins? I forget already, because it's the last day. Let me get my tribute. This is why I always check, make sure I didn't miss anything. As far as the chat. Alright, Arc Proxy Avenger is pretty good. That's like a top 10. Sycorax is good. Yeah, this was the week with a lot of good stuff. If you don't have Arc Proxy, it depends, always depends. It always depends. Do you have an Ironhawk? Do you have 2 Ironhawks? Do you have, like, High King Iron Gut? Do you have, you know... Arc Proxy Avendra is like a top 10, and no one would hate it if you crafted it because it's a top 10, and it's like you're supposed to wait for top 10s. Like if you crafted Mithrillion, you would be wrong if you didn't have all the top 10s. Like if you crafted Pan, you would just be wrong. If you Sycorax is like a harder sell than like Arc Proxy Avendra. If you craft Arc Proxy Avendra, no one will tell you that that was a bad move. But there's people that are even like super more patient that are waiting for Iron Hawk or High King Iron Gut or something. So depends where you're at and what you got, but it would not be a bad thing to craft it. I could say that. Or you could craft Web Spinner and like keep saving for something else, but because Web Spinner is an awesome legendary. But once again, like, I don't know. I think Arc Proxy's the move if you're going to craft anything. And no one would probably tell you like you did a bad move. I'm not like super excited about it. I don't use her a lot. She's like at the bottom of the top 10, but she's good. Uber Doomskulls. Top 10 most likely. No one would hate it if you did it. Type of stuff. Elgin says, I have a single Tesla on baby account, has been challenging at the higher levels for sure. Yeah, you'd have to like get her up twice or use a Shield of Erskaya or something. One Tesla, or use the Carlson Marshall. Like, one Tesla would be okay. I'd probably just throw the raid troop on instead of two Teslas. I'd have the same exact team except for Carlson Marshall instead of the second Tesla. Then I would probably cast like maybe put a Shield of Erskaya on, maybe cast it on. I don't know. It would work. Ghost Rebel says probably only checks in code if you killed Zool or not. Yeah. That's how a lot of this game works. That's probably the same reason that it the vault events are messed up from Battle Crashers. Like something along the same lines. John says my guild has 7 members on 0 points. Oh my, dude. Unless they get them all done tonight. That's one of those things. Like somebody asked me, like, how do I know if I'm in a good guild or not? And I showed them. There's lots of factors involved. One of them is, like, are you getting all the events done? So if 7 people do nothing but you still get the event done, then I would still call it a decent guild. I'm not trying to say your guild's bad or anything, but like 7 zeros is pretty... I would be kind of irritated if it was my guild. With 7 people doing nothing. That's out of 30 people. It's a good quarter of your guild. Elle says, sadly, may not be able to make the chatathon. I'm working and also training, so I'll be on call all day. Well, I'll just switch it to the other day then, Elgins. John says, I went level 1700 this week. Yeah, you're always with us in spirit. John says, currently on 4,521 trophies for the week. That's a lot. Butt mud. Poop talk with Sinnycool. John's out of here. Anthony says you don't take it and wave it about. Wait, you don't? I have some apologies to make. Fart knocker. I used to say fart knocker a lot. DC. Not on this channel or anything. When I was like a kid. Alright, DC, we'll see you, bro. Anthony says beg more hand egg tonight. Purdy is going to get introduced Mika many times. Alright, Pocket Trash. Anthony says double Ironhawk is dead because of Dragonite Gnome. Is it? That sucks. Yeah, we haven't had one since the Dragonite Gnome. Yeah, that would suck if it's dead. I mean, Anthony, like, how often does a cursed gnome appear? Dragonite gnomes are going to appear as often as a cursed. So, is it really dead? I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, for the amount, like, how much faster Ironhawk goes than Rowan, and just that one battle where a Dragonite gnome appears, like, once out of every 20 battles or something, it might not be dead, but it could be. That's a good point. I guess we'll have to see. Back to Rowan. Or Moon Mage, right? Beg says I use Sycorax ×2 and Guild Wars Attack on 2 different color days. That's cool. I use Sycorax on 2 different color days, too. Ruhan says it's hurting me not crafting her, but HKI is my #1 wish. Yeah, I would just hold off. I honestly don't use Avendra. It's one of those really cool troops like Lord of Slaughter. Like, there's people out there that are super hype about like Avendra and Lord of Slaughter, and they deserve it. Like, they're really awesome glass cannons. But I'm not a big glass cannon kind of guy. Like, I'm a more let's just get crap done, reliable type of dude. So if you're into those like super glass cannon teams that do tons of skull damage and stuff, like that's Arc Proxy Avenger, that's like Lord of Slaughter. But there's a lot of more safer, reliable options in the top 10. It's just really, I don't know the word, really potent mythic, but not like super reliable and not like, I don't know. It's like a nuke. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Moon Mage team, there's a video. You can check it out, but it's I don't even remember it off the top of my head. Moon Mage, King Averlorn. Hold on, I got it somewhere. I'll show you. Good old Glorfindel team. All right, let me find it though. I gotta rename all these. Here it is. Moon Mage, King Averlorn, Imperial Jewel, and Leprechaun. The Moon Mage does damage. It does enough damage that it will clear Explore 1. Especially if you have enough Nisha medals and everything. It's kind of a weird, bougie, like, specific team. Kind of like the Natureborn Hunter has to fight against beasts. Well, Moon Mage, like, has to use Doomsayer class and, like, needs Nisha medals and stuff. Like, it's a little bit of a bougie, very specific Explore 1 quick clear. But, it's definitely an option, especially if you don't have Doomsayer to 100. Something else to do. It works. But, like, you gotta use a class. Only one class works with it, because it has, like, a special little explosion that makes it get up every first turn, or... You'll see. If you use it for a while, you'll see what I mean. Or if you go check out my video. I put the video out, like, maybe 2 months ago. Something like that. But alright, y'all. We'll see ya. Have a great day. You're the best. Thank you for joining me today, Mr. Chad Clipbaum, Mary Musgrove, Anthony, Beg for Mercy, Ruhan, Elgins, Pocket Trash, Anthony, DC, Beg, Elgins, Imperial, John Fitzpatrick, Anthony, Elgins, John, Ghost Rebel, Coffins, DC, Stigmatic Bungie, Coffins, DC, Beg, Chris, Anthony, Shannon, Stigmatic, Ghost Rebel, Chris, Masked Bishop, Anthony L. Ruhan gifted a membership. That was freaking cool, and right to Anthony, who is also cool. Thank you, Ruhan. Really appreciate it so much. And welcome to the choir, Anthony. John Fitzpatrick, Anthony, Chad, Stigmatic, Imperial Topaz, John L. Chris Stig, Anthony, Maka Felix was here today. Tyrion Shark was here. Anthony, Ghost Rebel, Chris, Ebony. I might re-listen to this live stream. I like ranted the whole time. You know something I realized? Like, my videos that get a lot of views, like, whenever I make the title and thumbnail, I, like, crack up at it. Out of, like, how ridiculous. You know what I mean? If I think it's a funny thumbnail, those are always the best. Like, when I make a thumbnail and then I'm, like, laughing at it because of how ridiculous, then I know it's going to get some views. I don't know why that's the case, and it's so annoying, but if I'm laughing at my title and thumbnail, then that's when the video blows up. The harder I laugh at my own title and thumbnail. So now, that's like my new thing. Like, I know I did good. If I'm, like, cracking up at my thumbnail, I'm like, oh, that's gonna, yeah, woo. If I'm, like, laughing. J.M. Ricks, Anthony Elgins, Pocket Trash, Tyrion Shark, Mass Bishop. Get them little nuggets in there when the stream's already over. DC with the 10, thank you so much, bro. Really, really appreciate it. You're a freaking legend. You're like my right-hand man, bro. Anthony, Pocket Trash, Ebony, Chad, super solid Chad. Really appreciate it. Maka Felix, love your name. JM Ricks, member for 6 freaking months. Snubnose Zero was here. Shout out to you. Chad with the 5, freaking legend. Still have a team named after Chad? Mary, Maka, Ebony, Sir Michael, Pocket Trash, Markio, Mary, Glorfindel was here. Mary, Glorf, Maka, Sir Michael, Ebony, Mary. That's as far as I can go. Back to the bottom. Alright, y'all. See ya. Have a good one. Later, Ghost Rebel, Chad, Mary, Anthony, Beg, Ruhan, Elgins. Thank you. Love you. Bye. Peace.